Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Casey. I'm pretty new to the trading card industry as far as selling them on eBay and flipping them for small to medium-sized profits and whatnot. But spent just over a year doing it and learned a lot from trial and error, from different videos, research, and everything else. And so I figured I'd put a video together for you guys that just kind of basically summarizes everything I've learned and on how to ship your raw cards that you sell on eBay, because it does make a huge difference when you are listing cards on eBay and selling them, and not only being able to get the continued profit from them, but also to provide the right customer service. And as I'm sure a lot of you guys that are new to the hobby are finding out, there are a lot of things that people get really nitpicky about, and rightfully so. And so when you're shipping these cards and to these to your customers or people purchasing from you, you want to make sure you're taking care of all the all the boxes, checking every box. And so first we'll start off with just the basic card. You've pulled it and you put it in your penny sleeve. All right, that's important. You never ever want to put any kind of a raw card in a top loader or a card saver or anything like that without it being put in a penny sleeve. Especially these chromium ones, they get damaged and scratched extremely easy. The best way to get the most value when you're selling on eBay is to be able to prove and show that you've not only taken care of the card from the second you've pulled it, but that you understand how a card needs to be taken care of. Otherwise, they're gambling on whether or not you know how to take care of it and what kind of card they're going to receive. Worst thing that could happen is they get a card that was crammed in a top loader without a sleeve. It's got scratches all over it and perfect centering and everything else, but you messed it up and it doesn't get the grade that they want. So we've got our card and it's in our penny sleeve. Now this is a trick, one trick I picked up from Carver's Cards. He put this in his video talking about how to prepare your cards for grading, but it's also useful for just something nice to do for when you're shipping these cards to people that are buying them from you. I use these little post-it tabs, and you put it on the penny sleeve itself with a little bit sticking out. And the reason you do this is so when you put it in the top loader, they have something to grab and pull out. Because what can happen is, especially with some top loaders, can be tighter than others, is it can get stuck, or what more often than not, the penny sleeve will get stuck, and then they'll end up actually pulling the card out itself out of the penny sleeve and the top loader, which will scratch it up. And you just want to help them avoid all of that altogether if they are planning on pulling it out when they receive it or sending it off themselves when they get it graded. And so it goes a long way, and it's a really nice thing to do to set them up to be able to pull it out really easy. And so once you've got that on there, then you're going to grab your top loader. So standard top loader, you can get them on Amazon. I actually recommend going to your local card store, because unlike the cards, sports cards and Pokemon and whatnot, they don't actually upcharge top loaders. So 9 times out of 10, you can get them for like $4 in your local card store, and they're like $10 on Amazon or anywhere else. So yeah, definitely check those out. So what you want to do is, just kind of what I always do, and everybody has their own strategy, is I always kind of open it up a little bit with my finger, just kind of stick it in there. I should have mentioned earlier, you want to make sure your fingers and hands are very clean when you're doing this. You don't want to put a bunch of oil and grease in there or whatever else. So you've kind of got it like little opened, and you want to make sure you're starting at the edge and coming all the way in, right? And then you want to gently push it in as far as you can get until you get a little bit of resistance. And then you want to kind of squeeze a little bit on both sides so that it kind of gives a little pressure. And you want to make sure you're getting this tab here under the plastic. And the second it's under the plastic, you don't want to keep pushing, because that once it gets farther in, you're going to have more friction and you're going to risk damaging the card. And so what you want to do is just gently tap it the rest of the way down. And what this is doing is it's allowing the card to go all the way to the bottom, because that's where you want it, and preventing you from cramming your hands in there, fingers in there, messing it up, damaging the card in any way, because it's very easy to mess up a corner, an edge, or anything just purely by accident when you're trying to get it into the top loader, doing the very thing you're trying to protect from. Lastly, you're going to want to tape the top loader closed. Now this is important. A lot of guys will use Scotch tape on top loaders, and that is a big nitpicky thing for the industry. A lot of people hate it. Myself, I really don't. I don't mind it because I really don't display top loaders. I don't care. The ones that are messed up, I use to ship other cards, and that really don't matter, or save cards, whatever the case. But you don't want to do that because there are people that do value the look and feel of the top loader. They don't want it to be messed up, or they want to be able to take the tape off and move the card without, and repurpose the top loader. So it'll go a long way by using painter's tape. And the reason is it comes off really easy, and you don't have to worry about, getting pegged on your feedback for messing that up. And again, if it only takes 1 or 2 bad feedback ratings to really ruin your ability to get even the smallest profit on cards. And so customer service and feedback is everything, especially when you're trying to flip raw cards, because the prospect, the person that's going to consider buying your card, it's already gambling by purchasing a raw card from you. They have to then gamble on whether or not you've taken care of the card, whether or not you yourself know how to ship the card and get them in the best possible position to be able to send it off to be graded or whatever they would like to do with it. And the first thing they're going to check is your feedback and how you post the card, all those things. So really, it seems tedious, it seems monotonous, but it really is so important, and it goes such a long way. And so as you guys can see, this is kind of the what it looks like. Again, this is the little tab here. You can see I've got that on there. It's all mounted, and this is ready to go into a team bag. So now what I would do is I'd get my team bag. You're going to want to make sure you get, for top loading cards, you're going to want to get the 3.5-inch team bags. First mistake I made was buying a set of team bags that were the top loader size itself, that would fit a card, but they wouldn't fit a top loader. And so you want to be able to fit that top loader in there. So 3.5 inches, remember that. I'm going to go ahead and put that card in there. Fold that tab down as well. Now, another thing I like to do, it's a personal touch, but goes a long way, is I always put 1 or 2 or 3 extra, bulk cards in there. It's great for getting rid of your bulk cards. It's a nice little customer service piece. And it shows you really care. Sometimes one of the things I love to do with sports teams is, if I can tell that's their team, like it's somebody that purchased the card is from San Antonio and they've purchased a San Antonio Spurs player's card, more than likely they're a San Antonio Spurs fan. So I'll throw a bunch of extra, a few extra San Antonio Spurs cards in there. Or with Pokemon, everybody knows Pokemon, you got a lot of bulk. I'll do the same thing. So I'll just go in there and, I have bulk sorted out. This is my basketball bulk here, and I'll just, grab a couple of them. This is just for the sake of example here, but 2 to 3 with basketball, because they tend to be more expensive and you tend to have a lot less bulk, especially if it's basketball worth purchasing. I always only do about 2. And then, just put that in there and then close up the top loader. The thing is sticky. So once you've got your top loader closed up and you've got your little cards in there, then you're going to want to get at least 1 piece of cardboard. I always do 1, and the reason is because the eBay standard shipping for trading cards under $20, which is the most affordable way to ship your cards. Offers the highest protection, includes tracking, saves you a lot of money, and allows you to actually get some kind of profit off a card that only sells for $1.50. Also, people are much more willing to pay 99 cents for a card if they only have to pay at most 50 cents, 51 cents for shipping. So the way it works is if your card and envelope and everything weighs 1 ounce, it's 51 cents for shipping. If it's 2 ounces, it's 71 cents. 3 ounces, it is exactly 91 cents. Now you want to make that as affordable as possible. And the best way to do that, and I've done this a million times, is 1 piece of cardboard measured the exact same as the top loader and everything. And then this cardboard with the team bag and the extra cards, up to 3. 3 is the most I've been able to get it 100%. And tape and all, it weighs exactly 1 ounce. So you can list that shipping at 1 ounce and not have to worry about getting flagged at the shipping service or having it sent back. This guarantees you're posting it for 51 cents. And it's saving your purchaser money on shipping, and it's saving you on profit. So again, remember that envelope, card, the whole 9 yards. So now you take the cardboard, you want to put it on the front. I always do, at least. Again, some people have different preferences. I always put it on the front, covering the extra cards that I put in there. And then at this point, Scotch tape's the easiest to use because it's the quickest and the cheapest. So I'll take one piece of Scotch tape and I will put it on the top and then another on the bottom, like so. Now what I always do is I put a little note with a Sharpie that says thank you. And then, you know, I also put, you know, a note that says please leave feedback. And the reason that is because a lot of people, more often than not, won't take the time to leave you feedback, even if you go the extra mile with customer service. And that's not a knock on them. It's just, especially if they're buying a $1, $2, $3 card, they could, you know, really don't care. And it's not their fault. Again, it's opportunity cost, I guess. Regardless, if you put that note there, I found more often than not, they'll actually, you know, will leave you feedback. And so it doesn't hurt to do that. And you never want to have to message them later on and say, hey, by the way, saw you got the card. Do you mind leaving me feedback? The reason you don't want to do that is because then you're opening yourself up for negative feedback. They could be irritated that you're asking them on a $1 card. Something could have happened to the card in shipping, and then you're, you know, even though that's still not your fault, as long as you've taken all the necessary precautions, that's a battle you don't want to fight unnecessarily. Just a number of things you don't want to open yourself up to. So ask ahead of time, not later on. Now you're going to want to take your envelope. I always go with the smaller envelope. You don't want to get the big legal size. These will do just fine. All right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my envelope down. I'm going to take the card and everything here, and I'm going to push it down into the very bottom left. You can do bottom right if you like, but I always go bottom left. It makes it easier. You're pushing it all the way down. Now, here's the important piece here. And before I forget, the note, the extra cards, and the team bag, that's something I picked up from JP Breaks. So thank you for that, man. Love it. It's been great ever since I've been doing it. But so now we've pushed it in the corner. Now here's my trick. This is something I came up with, and it makes all the difference. One thing that'll happen, if you go ahead and seal this up, you have to worry about that card jumping around in here. Okay, and what'll happen is if it jumps around in here and then it gets like in the middle or at the wrong spot, and then it goes in the mail slot wrong, or the mailman puts it the wrong way, whatever the case, you're opening yourself up 2 to 3 times more for it to get bent, crushed, moved, anything like that. If it's all the way in the corner and it's not moving, there's a much better chance of it not getting messed up and staying protected. Now the way to do this, once you've got it in the corner, it's very easy. You just take one small piece of tape and you put it on the cardboard, and then you press it down into the actual envelope itself. And so this right here is keeping it, and so once it's closed, it's not going anywhere at all. And that ensures the card through transit, you're giving it the best possible chance and opportunity, no matter how the mailman handles it, no matter what kind of size mailbox, all of the above, it's going to be secure and safe. Now, after you seal it up and everything, this is when I will always, you'll print your shipping label. It'll usually look like this. You'll want to cut it out and go ahead and put it on there. And then one last little piece I'll do is, and again, this is also from JP Breaks, is I use these do not bend, handle with care stickers. They're really cheap. You can get them on Amazon. I think it was like $4 for a roll of like 1,000. And so you just put it on there, and I always put it down to secure the shipping label. But the reason this is because number one, mailman do care more often than not. And so they'll see that and say, okay, I'll go ahead and put that at the top of the bag or whatever the case, right? But number two, it shows the purchaser that you have done everything you possibly can to ensure the safe delivery of that card. And it's such an easy and simple thing to do. So definitely please do that. It goes a long way, and it really ensures that those raw cards are going to get delivered. And the most important factor in all of this, when you're trying to make a small profit on selling your raw cards on eBay, is that if you do it right, you take the time and you don't skip any details, you don't go, you don't cut corners, you can do really well, and you will do really well. But it takes a lot of customer service and showing that you care that brings you the most profit. Again, if I'm looking at, a card that's worth, at best $5 raw, I want to make sure that, also there's probably 400 others, listed on eBay. So I want to give those eBayers out there a reason to choose me over the others. And the best way I can do that is by having just nonstop positive feedback from how I have shipped my cards from others that have received them, as well as showing that you're doing everything you can to deliver that card safely so that they get the full value of what they've purchased. And in doing so, you're getting the most profit, and you can keep selling successfully on eBay. It'll also save you on fees too. Again, I'm still relatively new. I just thought I'd make this video to show you guys, all the tips and tricks and things that I've learned through trial and error and hours of videos and learning and all that, to hopefully help some of y'all out. Again, this is purely for shipping your raw cards on eBay. Now, I'll depending on how well this video does, I'll make another one on how I list them. I've got it down to a science, and it really does. The way I've got it set up, I'm paying the least amount in fees, and I'm getting the highest profit. So much so that I'm at least getting around 75 cents to $1 plus on the cards that I do list that sell for the least. So again, I'd love to make another video for you guys about how to set up your listing on eBay, how to do that. If so, comment, hey, make that video, or share this one, whatever. If I see this one gets enough likes or whatever, I guess I'll feel motivated enough to do it. So hope this helps somebody out. Thanks. And again, shout out to JP Breaks and Carver's Cards.